Days after Israel launched airstrikes on Iran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned that Israel has the capability to reach anywhere in Iran should the need arise.
Israel today has more freedom of action in Iran than ever. We can reach any place in Iran as necessary. The supreme goal I gave to Israel Defense Forces and the security branches is to prevent Iran from achieving a nuclear weapon.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin discussed opportunities for regional de-escalation with his Israeli counterpart Yoav Gallant during a phone call. Austin reviewed prospects for a hostage release and a ceasefire deal. In a statement, Gallant's office said that the Israeli defense minister briefed Austin on the success of Israel's strikes on Iran and also discussed strategic opportunities that may have arisen. Joining us now is our correspondent Akshay Dongre from our New Delhi newsroom. Akshay, senior American officials have returned to West Asia and they are trying to reach a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Also, Antony Blinken has said that negotiators had made some good progress on a potential deal. So what more do we know?
Well, there are certain claims that have been made by the top leadership when it comes to the US government. In fact, given the fact that elections are going on, it seems like more of a optimistic statements that are being made by the US government officials, because when it comes to the ground, nothing much has changed. And this is quite visible from the increasing number of incidents now coming in, where Israeli defense forces are carrying out increasing number of attacks, more sophisticated attacks against its adversaries, and Hezbollah along with Iran and Hamas forces trying to up their ante as far as attacking the areas of Israel are concerned, especially the military establishments. Now the attack that has been carried out by Hezbollah is one of the deadliest attacks that the group has carried out in the northern Israel, which has resulted in 7 deaths of civilians, and that gives us the gravity of the situation, that something that hasn't happened as of now in this conflict has started to happen now, and the statements that have been made, the efforts that have been made rather by the US leadership and the appeals are falling on deaf ears as of now. There can be some optimism coming in from the US government statements. However, when it comes to the ground, the region remains on the edge of a full-blown war with deadly and devastating consequences, not just for the region but for the global economy as well.
Akshay, Israeli intelligence indicates that Iran is preparing an attack on Israel from Iraqi territory in the coming days, potentially before the US presidential election on 5th November. Also, Netanyahu, we heard warning that Israel can reach anywhere in Iran. So what could be coming?
Well, from the recent attack that has been carried out by Israel, Munmun, we have seen that there are intel reports coming in that Israel has carried out specific attacks on the missile defense capabilities of the Iranian government and the Iranian defense forces, especially when we talk about the S-300 that have been deployed in the country. Most of these attacks were successful. Many of the S-300 units are reportedly destroyed, and that has left Iran vulnerable to more attacks coming in from the Israeli defense forces. Now, Israel has an edge, or rather an upper hand when it comes to defense capabilities or offensive capabilities in an open conflict with Israeli Air Force, having F-35s in their arsenal, which the aircraft can actually go into the Iranian airspace even with a missile defense system. Because of its stealth capabilities, it can carry out attacks and come back like it has done in few days, in recent few days. And now with S-300s destroyed and the major dent that Iran has received by the Israel Defense Forces in its missile defense capabilities, Iran is more vulnerable to any kind of attacks when it comes to civilian areas, military areas. So the report of Iran planning an attack through the Iraqi regime or through the Iraqi territory may not be absolutely correct, but can also not be ruled out completely.
We'll leave it at that. Akshay Dongre reporting from New Delhi.